Gosh, well, welcome back to I Am Boss Podcast. I'm your girl Latoya,
It's your girl Stephanie.
And Kayla.
and we have a special guest today that's come back from our first season. She was actually on our first episode of our first season, and she's back as our first guest on the second season. Welcome, Dawn.
Thank you. I did not know that.
The thrill of victory comes with the agony of defeat. This life ain't for everybody. You don't know what it cost me, but no pressure, no pressure. I was made for this life, no diamonds. Made for this life, no diamonds, no pressure, no diamonds.
So we're gonna catch up with everybody. Kayla, what you been up to the past year?
Nothing whatsoever. Just living life. Pretty much just living life with a toddler. The struggles, the ups and downs, and having a husband and being married, and just normacy, I guess. That's what I would say.
Okay, nothing special.
But we
Nothing
outside
special?
though. But we outside though.
We outside.
But
Right.
it's costing $500 a day though.
We
Okay.
outside.
Steph.
But we definitely outside. Life has been lifing. Definitely in the grieving process right now. But I started a new job in a new county. I'm happy with that. Kids in. Is that a word? They kids in. Well, kids are doing their thing. School is on summer break. But like I said, life is definitely life, and had a lot of loss in the family and trying to cope and get through that, as well as practice self-care. Hurt my finger the other day, got cut, you know what I'm saying, been stabbed, you know what I'm saying. I was saying that. I cut my finger.
Such a gangster.
Trying to recover, but yeah, just living life. Happy in the marriage. Last season I always talked about the DMs, but we good now.
Hey!
Now we just focus on these hoochie daddy shorts, but Nuri's doing good and everything's good. What about you?
Well, I've been super busy,
Booked and busy.
busy. Real estate is going really well. The market was super crazy the last year and a half. The break from the podcast has been due to that, I feel, like part of it. I don't know about you guys, but like with my career and selling all these daggone houses, plug. No, it really has been stressful. It's been busy. The market is super crazy. So it's slowing down a bit. It's changing. We'll talk about it some this season on the podcast. My marriage is doing great.
Y'all are definitely doing great. Shout out from last season to this second
I got a
season.
new ring.
She got a new
We
ring.
won't zoom in on
doing
that.
date nights and stuff. Nate, shout out to Nate. Nate came through season 2.
Yeah, we're not making no babies though.
Never
I think
know.
that's part of the reason that it's going so well, because when the kids were so small, like we couldn't get the date nights. Grandma was young and vibrant working. Now she retired and at home with y'all. So, you know what I mean? Like during the day and stuff. So it's just different. Y'all know the struggle of not being able to really get a date night. You go out with your son.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Most of
And
the
you just
time.
stay in the house. So,
We
it's,
get our date nights. I don't know.
We were doing
That's
date
true.
nights, but
That's
then
what
Nate
the-
understood the assignment, so I'm
yeah.
glad.
No, he did. He let
Pass
her
the
take
torch.
me out during COVID for date nights.
We had date
Not
nights.
let, but I went out on date nights and stuff. So, it's been really good. The kids are good. Brooklyn's thriving. Carter is in sports now, so that's different. Having 2
Okay.
kids in sports, and Taylor's on her own doing great. So, life's been good. Dawn.
Dun, 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 dun.
The last time you were here,
Okay.
you were single.
I
And you were
was.
sharing how you were on dating sites and these brothers. Tell us, just recap us on where you were and where you are now.
Okay, so I was still trying out the dating sites that I was with, hanging out with certain people. I had my rotation still, and kept a little man or two on me. The children being in different things and spending more time with their father allowed me to live my best life, still travel. So at that time I was single, and in between then and now, I had enough time to just kind of think and figure out what I wanted to do. And then I started dating, earlier this year. Yeah.
Okay. So you met a man. Where?
I did. Well, I met him online. We had some mutual friends, but I jumped in his DMs first, though.
Was he fine? Was he fine?
He was attractive to me. I was told that he wasn't my type, nor the complexion that I'm used to dating. So apparently my girlfriends knew my type.
Yeah, because we was in your
opposites
inbox.
attract.
Everybody
No. I was
was.
like, girl, no. She was like, I'm like, but you was posting.
I waited a month first before I posted, and that's the thing. I did give it a buffer first, and then I went all in because that's what you're supposed to do.
So when you went
Yeah,
in,
and I was
were
excited.
you guys still just dating, or were you like, did y'all make it official, or were y'all seeing other people? Like, how did y'all solidify we're one-on-one?
We made it official, so we were dating for a little bit. And the first time I met him, we went to Jasper, something very, 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 right. Just jeans, sweatshirt. I had some thigh-high boots on. I was working it, pulled up, looking fly.
What'd you pull up in?
Oh, I had the white Mercedes. But,
Oh.
he pulled up in the X6.
Okay.
So we met, and we had a great time, and we talked so much to the point that we wound up leaving when Jasper's closed, and we linked that one time, and we never looked back. Like, we never looked back. So that's where that's at. But things have changed since then. So.
Oh, what happened? Y'all was all in.
Love
Hold on, we
almost.
gonna need a drink. Well, hold on.
Do
All right,
it.
pause
What?
1 second. What do we do? What do we do before we really get into the nitty gritty?
Take a step.
Well,
ahead.
here at I Am Boss Podcast, it's only right that we bring it to the center. And let's cheers to season 2.
Cheers.
Now tell us what happened.
Straight no chaser, huh?
Straight no chaser, honey. What happened?
Let me take a step on that. No, we broke up. There was definitely some infidelities there. Y'all know I'm solid and I'm transparent.
Please.
So at that point, I don't even know where to start. Like, what do you want to know? What do you want
So
to
you
discuss in
were
that fact?
on social media, like
We saw
in,
it, yeah.
Okay,
I kept what I say to you. You in love, girl.
And what did I
they
say?
In the car,
Posting pictures of the shoes.
I said I'm in
the
like.
shoes, and he's in half naked, and they in Mercedes, they in this car, they in that car, they going here, they going there. She's sending me screenshots of messages. I want to marry you.
Wow. Yeah,
Right?
he did.
I love
Like,
my
he
good
said I'm a
woman.
nice-
not you, but him. Said, I want to marry you, and what?
He said you will be my wife.
Right. Like, y'all. I
Wait,
thought
how
they were
long was y'all together?
We were hitting that 3-month mark, and so that whole 3-4 weeks, I did not post him. The first time I stepped out with him, we were in all black. We went to my girlfriend's birthday party, and we looked good. And so some of the people at that time that kind of had reservations definitely said, okay, now I can see you guys looked good together. And we did, a lot of things together, but that was like our first real official post where we were all dressed up, heels.
So were
and
y'all
stuff.
in love?
We're not in love. Toy always likes to say in love. I said in like. I really,
I said,
really.
girl, well, then you in lust. And
I wasn't in love.
But he was
said that.
saying he wanted you to be his wife after 3 months. Is that too soon?
I think that's what happens when you date people that are in the military, veterans.
They ain't
Oh,
not lying.
I
yes,
realized
that
that they
ain't a
fall in
lie.
love very fast. So with that being said, it was really funny. It took me a while. He said it first, and it took me a while to say it back.
So you said it.
I did say it back. I'm not going to
Oh.
front. I did say it back.
90 days.
I did, and then that's why I feel the way I feel now, because then I let down
Your
my
guard,
guard.
yeah.
Exactly, and then I said it. And
So how soon is too soon to say I love you? Is
I
there
don't.
a time limit for that?
I don't think there's a time limit.
I don't either.
And that's why I was okay with it, but I still wanted. My friend, she gave me the best advice. She said, "Live your life and enjoy it. Don't rush it. You want anything good to last, take it slow." And that's what she kept saying to me. So I always.
But you didn't. You was posting like shit. I was like,
But posting and being in love is two different things. I was happy to be in a relationship.
Do you regret posting so much in the time period that you did? Do you feel like you like, damn, I probably shouldn't have did it,
Okay.
but
That's a two-part answer. Yes, part of me, yes, and part of me, no. Part of it, yes, is because it's a little bit embarrassing because the relationship failed, okay? And anybody wants to thrive in relationship.
Right.
I felt like at that point we were moving towards being aligned with each other. And when two people are loved properly, you know what I mean? That's when the growth starts to begin. And we were just hitting that peak, or so I thought. Unbeknownst to me, other things came up. Now, the other part of me does not, because it was a good time. It wasn't all bad, but it wasn't all good. And I enjoyed posting. I enjoyed the time that I have with him. That's all the memories I have, and I can take from that. And I'm okay with that. So that's where I say the no part. I do not. Not only that, when you post your man, that's a soft opening. That also gives you a chance to see if you're 1 to 8, if your other women are in your DMs checking for your man. And eventually towards the end I did. So we'll get into that.
So social media didn't destroy. It wasn't the social media post that ruined your relationship, though. So it's not because you posted him so much that the relationship.
But there
or
were things that got
situation
exposed
ended.
also through social media, which I feel like
Yes.
she basically just said that she discovered.
Yeah, I don't think it was the social media. He allowed me to think it was the social media, but when he tapped into his podcast with Toya is when I found out that there was a couple of other red flags that he might have felt that I was the problem with. But
So I went on the podcast and we had a conversation. It was kind of off camera, like some side, I don't know what you call it. Like he does his main, podcast, and then after that you get like into
bonus
the
content.
bonus content type stuff. And he basically confided in me that, and she was there, but he confided in me that she had answered the phone when she was sitting in his bed, and it was another guy, and they were on FaceTime.
Wait, hold on, Dawn. Wait, time out.
okay.
Hold on. You was in somebody's bed, your boyfriend.
Let's be clear. I was fully clothed in the bed. We were doing laundry, and I was sitting on the bed. I had just made it there.
So
and I answered
you
the FaceTime
laying
call.
in the bed with your significant other, your man.
We're not
No.
laying in bed. I'm just sitting on
He's
the bed
in
in
the
regular
room.
jeans and a
Oh, so-
t-shirt.
okay,
We're
so
in the
you're
room.
in
That's what I was
You're
asking.
I had
in
just got there.
So you're in the room.
Yes.
And there's your man.
Yes.
And your phone rings and another man calls you.
It was the FaceTime.
FaceTime.
Yes.
She answered
And
the
you-
phone.
I
You
did.
answered it. Now,
And-
who's this other man to you?
He was a friend of mine. He definitely was a friend. I had never kissed him. There was never any sexual relationship. So I felt that I could pick up the phone because he had an emergency. And when the phone rang, I told my guy, I'm going to pick up the phone
so
and make
you
sure he's
did
okay.
tell him.
I did.
Okay.
And that's what he left out. I'm not going to leave it out because I need you guys to be able to have a clear picture of what's going on. And so, I picked up the phone on the FaceTime. He was apparently in the hospital at that time. I just wanted to make sure that he was okay. I also felt, everyone says I should not have picked up the phone. Hard lesson to learn because look where I'm at. But I felt that I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't cheating. So I felt like, and I told him if I pick up the phone, just to check to make sure he was okay.
He was on some fuckery for real.
He was?
Because
Who, your friend?
yes,
it went
the one that
left.
was on the other line
But
because
see, but I picked it up because I felt like if I took the call and walked out the room, that would be suspect. And I wanted him to know that I was coming from a genuine place to my guy at the time. But he felt like because I picked it up, it was disrespectful. And it was. And I apologize for that.
but dude was being
He did. He went
was
left.
giving some bitch assness.
He
because
did.
what things that he said and how he said it. Oh, what you gonna cover up now or lean up? Because
That is correct.
You know what I mean? Like she was adjusting
I
herself
had a
or whatever.
half shirt on that day, and I bent over while I was talking, and you didn't see anything, but I recognized that it was a little more exposed than I needed to be, so I sat up. So he was like, "Oh, what are you covering up for?" And I guess that just kind of that hit a trigger for my ex.
Was there communication after that, or was it kind of just like, why you talk to another dude?
Oh, he waited till I got off the phone and he blasted my ass. He did.
And I think that's kind of like, I think everything deserves a sense of communication, but I think I've even learned that if you have men or friends of the opposite sex, I do think up front you should tell your person or whoever you're dating, like, I have a friend, we've been friends this long, there hasn't been any intimacy, so yeah, they do hit me up. I know
did.
you did that.
I did. I always do. At that time, we had made it official, so we were weaning off our other people that we were talking to. And so at that time, I did. I was weaning everybody off, but this phone call slipped through, and I took it.
Now, weaning, I don't think you gotta wean people off.
I don't think
If
so
you're
either. You can cut them off if you want
when
to.
I was
Yeah,
dating
cut
and
them
I was
off.
single, I always had one.
So then-
one plan B.
So then I'm not okay.
Dang!
So
I thought you was gonna
Stephanie,
say,
so
look,
you
cut
know
them
me,
off.
and I generally
No,
do. But I
always
like this
kept one
guy.
in rotation.
And I used to, and I think that's why this one hurt so much. But when I say wean, I mean cut off. There were people I just say, hey, this and that. But there are certain people that I'm not going to cut off. Your relative. There are people that are my friends after I've dated. I'm not cutting it off. And he did say that he doesn't think that you should be friends with people that you dated. But as we move further down this conversation, you're going to realize that he did too. So I'm very surprised that he took that approach with me. Now and after the fact, I've been able to realize that he did the same very thing. So yeah.
So he trying to play victim.
Absolutely. You don't get to play victim to circumstances that you created at that moment. Absolutely.
Well, that's a lot.
Yes.
So y'all are not together.
We are not together.
Sounds like y'all had some good moments.
We absolutely did.
And it sounds like y'all are just in the breakup phase where y'all are just like, it probably hurts. I can tell it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
She still talk about him.
I'm upset. I'm disappointed. No, I don't.
Work it out?
We could work it out if his apology was as loud as his disrespect. Absolutely. And when I say work it out, I don't mean just like go back together again or date again. But we should have been able to still have a conversation. Guys that I have stopped dating did not always end where we never ever speak again.
But some people are like
So
that.
you
I
feel
have
like there was
guys
just no
that
closure.
don't do that.
There absolutely was no closure, and he's not going to give me the benefit of the doubt to do that. My closure came from my best friend being on his podcast and him being able to be transparent with her. He should have been that transparent with me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, also, dig a little deeper than that.
Okay.
His transparency came from other people too, right? Tell us how you found out some things about him. It wasn't from him. Who was it from?
What are we talking about?
The things that you found out about him. Who did you find out from?
Well, he had me around here playing FBI and whatnot. The thing is, if you don't want me to find something out, I'm asking you, I'm coming to you as your lady at that time, and I'm asking you things, and as things are starting to get rocky and we're ending this relationship, I really want to know, like you said, for closure, was it me that I fell in this relationship? Because when I go into the next one, I want to make sure I'm not taking that same stuff into that relationship. So at that time, I reached out to his son's mother. And, baby.
After the breakup.
After the breakup. Well, I actually hit her.
How did you even find her?
So if you,
Gosh.
well, I found
It's
her
the behind the scenes.
No, it
for
gets
me.
better. It gets better. I found out about the ex.
Media.
I found out about the son's mother because he allowed me to borrow his laptop while he was out of town, and it had her name in the computer. On the front of the computer, it said entrepreneur, her, Her. So I knew that this laptop must have belonged to a female. Again, those are just the things that you find out. And I hit her up on Facebook, and quite
Social
an
media.
interest.
Dang, you should work for social media.
Okay.
She
was investigating.
So
I
what
was.
did you find? Like,
I
keep
found
going. You
my
stop
thing
it.
was
No,
I found
listen,
out
hold
was a
on.
pattern.
You're not making it. You're not giving it to us, okay? People sipping their
She's
drinks,
like,
but
look,
they not
I gotta go back in the
sipping they
archives. I gotta go back.
See, that's the archives. So she had. So this is how I knew that she was speaking to other people. Well,
boy.
one, she told me but then she made a social media story,
saw
and it
it.
had the guy, some girl, then another girl, and then was all this communication about how. You
So you
take
was
it
in
over.
the
Wait a minute, I did twice. So what are we talking
Screenshots,
about?
receipts. She was giving receipts.
Oh, I don't play
I'm like,
around
who
with
are
my
you
receipts.
receipting?
Yeah.
Who are you
But I didn't do that on
receipting?
social media. I sent that to you so you could see.
No, you had it on your stories
No, you
because
did
she the one who
put it on
told
your
me.
story.
The story. No, the only thing I put on the story was once I had an altercation with that travel nurse, the travel nurse girl.
Shout out to the travel nurse.
She
They
right?
get
Hey,
money.
they sure
They
do. I'm not mad at her though. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
My issue is not with her. My issue is with him. But when you come for me, I will come for you, and that's what that was. But anyways, so a few times, I'm not gonna lie. After I stopped dating him, I just wanted to know was the woman that I felt like that was the one that he was cheating with. I looked at her story for about a week or two, just peeping it out, and yeah, she was posting things. I don't know if she was trying to do it to get back at me. So I was like, baby, I got a whole load of photos. Let's go. And so I was posting them back to back to back to back as well. In the end, it still wound up hurting my feelings too. But at the same time, I thought it was necessary. Thank God now that this is like a month and some change ago, it doesn't hit me as hard about it. But yeah, let me just clear this part up. Let me bring this back to this. When I first started dating him, before we decided to make it official, the day that we went out to that all black party, he had on his front screen my charger wasn't working on my side. I don't know if I didn't plug it in all the way. And so I pulled his phone off the charger. When you pull your phone off the charger, you know the phone will like,
screen
thank you. Honey, it was about 10 texts on there from women. Only 2 was like the best friend and the other one was the sister. And
You
so
saw that?
I absolutely did. And here's
On
the
the
thing.
screen.
I didn't have
Gadget eyes.
to. Well, no, because I pulled his phone off the charger. And as soon as it illuminated, you just saw text.
You see
I saw
the
my own
notifications,
text.
yeah.
I saw my own text from that night when I was like, babe, post this picture. We look good on this one together. Right? And I saw 8 other women. And I said, ooh, keep an eye on these. And
she
and
did.
then when we were pillow talking in bed that one night, I said, hey, listen, is there anything that I need to worry about? Is this going to be a problem later on down the line? No, it's not. I was like, because if it is, I can pull back right now because by then, rotation, back pocket, ready. And you, okay,
I
seriously.
may not cheat, but I know who has next.
And we always say
Right,
that.
exactly.
I
That's what I
always
say. I don't
know.
cheat.
But I didn't want nobody else. I was
Right.
ready
Right.
to
You were
have him. So
definitely
I was
committed,
focused,
yeah.
right. And so I'm like, okay. He said, nope, you my girl. We going to do this. All right, boom. We bump fists and everything. I'm ready. Okay, but don't get me wrong. Every woman still remembers. So later, as we move forward 2-3 months later, that one circled right on back around. And so the
and
one
that's
that
when
I'm
you
talking about in
blasted.
particular, she literally had a text on there that said she missed his face. When I specifically said, who is she? Oh, she's my best friend, and she used to mess with my man, and that's not the word he used, but
But how
gonna
do you
use
know
that.
she not like crazy stalker? How do you trust her?
I don't care. I don't have to trust her. I'm trying to trust him. And that's why I
No, I'm
approached
saying
him.
after the fact, you reached out to her, but how do you know that she's not just like feeding you, bored as shit at home?
She could be.
behind a screen, just
She
praying,
could be,
you know what I
but
mean?
I'm-
could, but she has some.
But I'm
she had
also
some,
thinking that if she
was some
gathered
truth
her
to it.
information from like more than one person,
One source.
one source, then
it was a pattern. I
Yeah.
found out that it was absolutely
She
a pattern.
probably seen like, all right, this person's saying the same thing this other person's
But
saying.
it was much
so-
later, Kayla. That's the thing. And that's why I was hurt because he definitely allowed me to feel like that I was to blame in it. So now that it's much later, I haven't even had a chance to speak to him to tell him all the things that I even found out. And I'm disgusted.
So you had said, hey, babe, I think you should post this picture of us. Did he not post you on his social
He
media?
did post me on the social media, but he did take that one down. And then the other one that he did post, it just said Miss Teflon. It did not have my name, but we all know my name is Miss Teflon Dawn because don't nothing
Oh,
stick
so
on
he
me.
didn't put the whole name on it.
No, he just put Miss Teflon on there,
So
and
nobody
it was
could
a
find
song,
you.
So
and it
he
was a
couldn't at
song.
you basically. He didn't at you.
He did not at me. We do not at each other. And that was another thing about
Oh,
it when
okay.
we were dating, because I would say things like nicknames. We nickname all my guys that I've dated throughout the years. And we wouldn't tag each other. We weren't even following each other because our pages are open. So, and not only that, I was with him so much, 4 days out of the week. I was with him like 4 days out of the week. So I did not have to feel like
Girl,
I
you could
had
be
to
with
tag him.
You could be with a nigga every day. and
Oh,
they do-
absolutely. And he was. That's my point. I guess those other 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, we didn't post each other. We didn't have to. I did not have to tag him. I did not want to show him. I would put pictures out there, but I never attached a name to it. As a matter of fact, even when I posted about his podcast, I put a smile, emoji smile over top of it when he was giving shout outs and certain things. But certain people already knew him. So
So-
people went in my inbox and asked
So
about him.
how do you know when it's time to post your significant other? Like,
I think when the time is right.
okay.
I
'Cause,
just-
I mean,
I think it's
I don't even post Nate like that.
I don't either.
I mean, like,
never
I'll
post-
do it.
I
Like,
don't
it's
even post
pretty
regular
natural,
stuff,
like,
but
yeah.
that's
you
just
know.
me.
Yeah.
That's just my
Like,
personality.
I felt like I knew everything that was, not everything, but you posted a lot. But you post a lot anyway. But I'm just saying, like, you know,
But
like
I post
a lot.
memes and funny stuff. That's
Like, that
generally
was-
what I post.
Yeah,
I
but-
made a whole highlight of this man.
All your outfits. I'm paying devil's advocate. Everything.
Outfits was banging.
Everything.
Where
You know
I
what
went
I'm
was
saying?
fun.
Like-
I was happy to be in a relationship, so I guess that's what it was.
okay.
But,
Wrong with
but then
that.
again, I still
I
You
don't
post
think
a
there's
lot.
anything
No,
wrong
I
with
used
that.
to.
Okay.
So I don't. Okay, so I have a thing where like, well, and people will even ask me like, "Dang, you never post anything on social media." But for me, that's just me. That's
Correct.
just my personality. I just don't do that. But I do understand the people who do post it and the people who do like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm cool
Yeah.
with that. I'm cool.
Like, do you?
Yeah, and some people I do feel like, look, this their birthday. I gotta give them a shout out on the thing because they
Correct.
love the gram. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a
Yeah.
shout out.
But I do
Some
those
people I
too.
just
And
feel
I-
like I have to do that for, and that's completely
Yeah.
fine.
I like when people post their significant others. Like, I'm gonna give my brother for an example. I love how he posts you. Like, he posts you when you're interacting with your son, random moments.
Yeah.
He shouts you out. He's, you know, he tells you he's proud of you on there. It's little things like that's what I wish. Art doesn't like social media. He don't post, and I'm not gonna beg you to post me because I don't need to be on your page.
Shoot, they want me
But
to pull out
like,
camera. I can't
but
even get a
and that's the
picture.
thing. Like, I'm like, I can't even get a good picture. Like, I want somebody to take the initiative to be like, come on, babe, let's take a picture or whatever. So I don't think there's anything wrong with posting, but some people are just totally against it. But it does feel good, like Sierra and Russell, how they just post and they're so, you know, lovey-dovey and all that
I mean,
stuff.
they had their anniversary post that they just put out, and it was so cute, and I really loved it, and I loved both the videos that they both made.
I didn't see
But
any of them.
it does, and I may have sent that to my kids and said, "Won't y'all do this for us?" Which I never do because I don't care enough to be like. I mean,
No, but it showed some adoration. Like, it
I mean,
showed that.
but I know
Russell
I have a
was-
great relationship too.
I do too.
So
But
it, you know,
sometimes it feels
but some
good.
people will look at social media
Yes.
and compare what they don't have, and that's what I don't want to
Yeah,
do.
I don't want that.
I mean, I've been on social media and have said, you know, oh, that person got this body or that body, you know what I'm saying? Or they got this hair, I want that hair. And, or, you know, oh man, I wish I had their eyes, or, you know what I'm saying? Like different things like that, or that car or that house, you know, and then you got people out here just trying to live with the Joneses and doing really bad, or like people that post that know good and goddamn well they need to be at work. Like, what are you doing with yourself?
Right.
You post business, I see that. You're self-employed. I post business, a little bit of personal because in my business, people have to relate to me. But, you know, I don't think I care that much. I take it with a grain of salt.
Business wise, I take it with a grain of salt too.
Yeah.
Like, I might go a week or two without posting anything related to business, or because sometimes it's just like I need a mental cleanse. Like, it's too much sometimes. And I love looking at people's stories. Don't get me wrong. I love when other people post. It's just, maybe it's just me. I like got to take a step back sometimes because I too, like, I look at things and I'm like, dang,
A
she
healthy
doing this, she
balance.
doing that. Like, dang, I'm working. Look, I'm slaving. I'm working for hours. Lord, I just want to be a millionaire by this time. But it doesn't happen like that. But you got to understand, like, your process and your journey is your journey. And
Yeah.
I think that, like, sometimes taking a step back from social media makes you realize and understand that and have, like, more, I guess, gratitude and just taking a step back from things and just kind of, like, living in, like, what you are doing at the moment.
You know,
Yeah.
healthy balance. I just think like Art does a really good job of telling me in the moment. Like, he will roll over or send me a text throughout the day. Like, yeah, that's cool, but shit, post me on your fucking social media once or twice. Like,
Right.
I want to be seen. Damn it! Like, hello. Like,
Well-
cause sometimes I take good pics. And I'm like, he can post that.
Well, that's the
post
thing.
that.
They were posting and they looked so happy, and they was going to Eddie V's. I ain't never been.
You never been to
And
Eddie V's?
I ain't never been to
Girl,
Eddie
you
V's.
basic.
Uh,
Everybody been to Eddie V's.
I
The
ain't
first time
basic.
I went was in King of Prussia. I didn't
Yeah,
even
I've
go
never
to
been to
Texas.
Eddie V's either. No.
was
Thank
my
you.
first
And
time.
we're
been to-
far from
No.
basic, but what I'm saying is this.
Everybody has had
No.
Eddie V. Y'all ain't been to Eddie V's. Let's go to Eddie V's. Come
Y'all,
on.
You
it's
need to
not.
stop. The one that don't go nowhere want to
My
go
man,
right
but
now.
listen, shout out to my man. We've been to Eddie V's several times. He do take me. He do take me
Okay.
out. He do take me out.
See, those are the differences. That's
But you-
that's
you know
the
what I
differences.
mean?
You gotta take. Look,
but
you
no, y'all
can't
gotta
have it
equally
all.
yoke balance.
You can't
I
have it
said
all.
healthy
Yeah.
balance. Y'all gotta go to Eddie V's though. Ain't it good?
Yes, but listen, I'm not going there anymore because he took me there after
You
his,
went before
his son's
him.
mother put him onto it. She admitted that too.
I mean, it's
Girl.
all right. It ain't all that. to be
It's
like
not all
saying
that, but it was a
that's
nice
all.
occasion. It was Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely,
beautiful.
it was
I mean,
definitely
but
the
just
ambiance.
because
was
you
fun.
know
I was gonna
he's
say that.
probably
Yes.
taking people to McDonald's, but you're still going to McDonald's. Why are you relating yourself in your situation
because
where
we
you're
could have
going
picked
to
other
them?
places to go.
Yeah, because you might go to Eddie V's with your next boo, who's gonna, you
don't
know,
do that.
tell you.
I like to really go try new places.
But
So you
you've been
wouldn't
to
take
Eddie
your
V's a
new-
bunch of times.
I have not.
You have.
I've been twice. I went once in King of Prussia, and the first time I went was on Mother's Day in Tysonsville, Virginia. That is it. I'm all ready to go back to Ocean. Now I can go back to like Ocean Prime and things like that.
delicious.
Ocean Air, those are in Baltimore and stuff, in DC. Yeah, I can. Normally before I go back to the same one, I'll try something different. Same thing with vacationing.
So you say you wouldn't go to Eddie V's with your new boo. So what are you looking for in this new relationship? What does the man have to bring to the table
And
to date
do you
Dawn?
feel like you're ready to get into a new
Ooh,
relationship
twofer.
after?
No, because if I get into another relationship right now, I'm going to be operating out of a place of trauma and hurt at that moment.
But
and
you knew his name was Jaded something on the podcast. So
no, it wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
No.
Ain't his name Jaded?
We're not gonna put him
No,
out
No,
we used
not
to
the
say-
name,
no.
but a part
We
of his
used-
name
we
was
used to say he was
Jaded.
jaded. People would say that he was jaded, but it was not. It was. Are you talking about maybe his router
Something.
thing for his?
Oh, maybe
when we
something
log
was
in?
Jaded, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, the
maybe.
laptop said jaded.
Oh yeah, it did. So I mean, that's a sign.
And
I mean,
then
how
the-
do you people say red flag?
Yeah, but
That's a green
okay.
flag, girl. That's the one.
No, the
Stick with
Toxic
one
Kingdom
question.
was.
We on
I-
the
The
first
Toxic
question.
Kingdom.
Dawn, you did good. You gave it your all.
I
You
did.
was
She
committed.
She ain't like that man.
Let
I
your guard
did.
She ain't
down.
like that man. She ain't like that man.
Look.
What I say? You ain't like that man.
She does. I don't know why.
And you
I-
said
he-
that. And
she
you said
did
that
not like that
earlier. You
man.
said people said he wasn't your type.
She ain't
So
like that man.
he wasn't your type. So what attracted you? Because clearly he sounds like he was a wealthy guy. You said he had what car?
We don't care about the car.
Well, it
He
was nice.
He was financially
It
stable.
was foreign.
It was foreign.
Yeah, foreign.
Couple.
Or maybe you just had characteristics that you weren't used
I
to other
did.
guys having.
I did.
So were you
So then it
attracted
was
to
just
the bag?
like,
Because sometimes women can do
No.
that.
That's what she said, but
Right.
at one point in time, she was like, "Are you sure it's not that?" But it wasn't. I wasn't even. It wasn't.
Let
It
me
really
play devil's
wasn't.
advocate
Because
here.
if it was, I wouldn't be as hurt as I was about that. It wasn't the bag because I didn't even know he
No, a lot
had a
of other
bag like that.
things.
That man will ride around in his non-foreign car, so you don't know what he possessed. He
you
doesn't
did.
look like he comes from money or that he worked hard for it. I mean, he's six figures, but you don't know that.
So did you,
You
like?
did know
did
that.
that make
I did not
you-
know that right away.
Did bands make you dance?
No,
Bands
that's
make
the
you
thing. But I
dance.
have my
But you
own.
put something out there that said that I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Okay.
You put something out there that said, come get this 5 minutes.
Oh, I saw that too. That was when you was in your moment. You said he had
I need to
erectile
know about this
dysfunction
thing.
5 minutes.
I need to
Did
know
he?
about this thing.
Because
Did he really have ED?
he really did.
And I'm gonna say-
and I saw the penis pump in the third drawer.
So would you be willing to stay with that for the rest of your life? You will settle for somebody who can't get it up in 5
That's
minutes.
why I
Okay,
said, I
so-
know she ain't like that man.
Well, first of all, I told you that I liked him. I said the
You
sex,
did like
and I
him.
said, but the sex could be better. I told
You
you,
did
that from
say
Jump
that.
Street.
You did say
So
that.
you
And I
said
said,
that.
So he
I said
did,
that.
I can't
he
deal
just
with
gave
that.
you
But
5
this is the
minutes. He couldn't
thing.
even get to 7. Cause 7's
I don't
good.
even know.
All
if it
I
was,
need is 7.
I don't even
now
know.
that you're married,
Yeah, I
the
don't
way
need-
Art used to tell her, you used to throw it back and then some.
I
No.
just need 7.
Now let me tell you, that was just one of those pull the trigger posts because I was triggered with what another female
Go
said
figure.
about
You were
about
the
saying something
trigger.
about him, and so I
put
threw
me
back
through.
out there about the 5 minutes. And
But it wasn't always 5 minutes.
Oh, it's always been 5 minutes.
Oh God.
But that's why I want you to know that
So
I
you
liked
will
him
say-
more than that because if it was,
But
I would
who
have
can
left.
deal with that?
But you can
wouldn't
do
have been
that
able
for
to
the
deal
rest
with
of your
that for the
life.
rest of
I
your
probably
life.
wouldn't have, but I never know.
Because everybody's
I
doing
didn't get there.
Because
That's
everybody's doing more than 7 minutes when you going on vacation.
Stop. Everybody's going on vacation.
Vacation.
Listen,
I'm doing more than 7
Listen,
minutes before vacation.
ladies.
Well, you're different.
you do.
We know you got stamina
Yes.
because you close to the
Like,
floor.
Look, and
No,
that's the thing.
she
I'm saying
initiates.
him probably 5 minutes, but by the time you go through all of your this and that, and you're doing everything
So he had
else,
foreplay?
But yeah, any of the foreplay, yeah, we can make that stretch. And when you really like someone too, you're in tune. Like that's
Nah,
what
I'm not settling for 5
So
minutes.
here we go.
It's not always
It's not,
the-
and that's
But
the
she
thing.
didn't say
it's
just
the
5
soul
minutes. It was
connection,
ED,
too.
so it wasn't
It
not
was
erect all
soul
the time.
tie. So when you are making love to a man and you are looking him in his face and you are having contact, you are in the moment, and that's that body to body, that soul to soul. So I can make that stretch, and I had to think about it. Did I enjoy his company more than just always having sex? We're not gonna always have sex. We're not gonna always
That's
be
true.
young
Yeah,
and want to do
true.
that. So I mean, I'm in my 40s. He's in his 40s, but my sex drive has went up. His is steady, and that's probably because he
As we
can't
get
do
older,
what
it
he
gets-
needs to do.
yes.
Absolutely, and I also think it has something to do with his vasectomy. So I'm not sure.
Dick Donner.
I'm not sure. So at that point, I was okay like with it. Like I told him, like, so don't think. First of all, when you're with a guy and you like this guy, you do not discuss your sex life with your friends like that. We don't do. We might say it's good to be
you
funny,
pulled the
okay?
trigger,
But I
'cause
did.
you was
but
triggered.
now I was triggered based off of her, and not
And now
only
we
that,
gonna
but
have a laugh.
I'm not worried about having this conversation with you because I already had this conversation with him. He's
Hey.
the first person that knew
You
what
were
we
more
needed
mature,
to do.
and
I
you were
absolutely
ready.
am.
You was ready for
I
this
was
relationship.
ready,
She
but
had
I was.
She had a.
You guys know the
Waiting to
things.
exhale moment.
I did.
Troy, take your lip. Yo,
Leather wearing in the
sometimes need to shave, stink ass, and go home with your lean thick ass. That's why you only last 5 minutes.
It took one of my other male friends to DM me, and he said, Dawn, take that down because your Mr. Right might still be looking, and he doesn't want you to see that. He said, if you want to go say what you want to say what you want to say, let it go, release it, and be done with it. But he was like, take that part down. It had already been up for a little bit, apparently. I did have a couple people inbox me, but I released it. It felt good at the moment. So
Well, shout out to your friend for telling you, because it's amazing how
did.
toxic you
And
can
it was a
become when
guy.
you're hurt.
And it was a guy.
Yeah, and hurt people
It was
hurt
people.
Yes.
So that's
Say it
why
again.
Jaded.
that's why it's probably best that you focus on yourself right
Right.
now.
Take the
Enjoy
time
your
for
moment of
yourself.
singleness.
That's why I said that when he was dating me, he was operating from a place of trauma and guilt.
I could tell you that because on the podcast,
Latoya, the podcast
remember?
was the day that we literally
Like
solidified that
yeah.
we were breaking up. I
But
packed my
that
stuff
day
and
you
moved.
learned a lot.
I
But
learned a
that day
lot.
you learned a lot
It was a
because
little
you
too
learned
late.
that he wasn't like he was concerned with sharing money with a spouse, getting married. I'm like, but you said
But my
to
text
her
is say
that you
otherwise.
want to marry her.
Here's the
You
thing.
know what I'm saying? So I was just like, I was confused, but
I told him about how good I was doing in one area and my triumphs in the other, and he said that was okay. He was like a real man. I don't know what kind of man you've been dealing with, but I got you. I mean, it got to the point where this man has global entry. I don't have that, so I'm standing in line, say or something to travel, while this man is going straight through. I was like, oh, let me go get my TSA pre-check so I can glaze through. He was like, I
Did y'all
got
travel
you.
together?
We did not get a chance to travel together. We were headed that direction, which is why I went and did my pre-check and stuff like that. But you got a grasp of some of those texts, and I felt like I had to defend myself and show you because he was acting like that's not what he said on several occasions. Where he works, he can't take his phone. So we were able to talk on another platform, and we talked like that all day long, just pouring into each other. So it definitely was good when it was good, and that's why I don't regret it.
I have a few friends who are single, and they just talk to me about how it is just so hard out here to date, the social apps, and how just men are just different. And I just really want to know,
They operate differently.
what is making it so difficult? Like, because I feel like it can't be this hard, but I wonder if
Like, how they catching them these
how are
days?
you catching them? And then are we being turned off because we're doing too much in the beginning? Like the first date is like boom, 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 boom. And I get it. Like some of us are older in age, so it's like I know what I want, so I'm coming in straightforward. But
Yeah.
is that kind of like too much? Like how much is too much? Like
well, I think when you're young and you date, you do have a lot of time. So
And that's how people grow with people.
You have time. Nate and I have been through the ringer, but we
Absolutely.
were all in our 20s. Like we were in our 20s.
younger.
So, but now being in my 40s, I couldn't imagine being out here in a dating scene just from seeing you. And I've seen a couple of my other friends who are single trying to date and men with social media and women, and they just have so many options
They do.
that I feel like, do men really want us? We need to have a man on here because I really want
We
to
do.
know, do
That
they
would be
want
good.
to settle down?
And that's a good question, because there are some men out here who are saying they want to settle down. They're feeding you these lines until they get you, and then they're still doing their thing on the side. So
Yes.
it's like, what exactly do men and women want? I
And
think
then
the
they
main
get mad
thing,
when women, give their props to a Russell or to Michael B. Jordan's, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, but when women are only seeing Diddy, who's community dick, and all these other people who just give it out all the time, like they don't have any faith in the good men. Where are the good men?
we got them. Sorry.
Yeah,
But also too, I think
There's
like
still
the
some.
standards are different too. Like so,
They are.
dating at an older age, you have things that you want
And
from people and you need from them.
Correct.
Like
That's
it's
true.
not something like, okay, we're young. Like you could get a better job later. We could just figure it out. We're
You
gonna
right.
go through the
But
dirt
that's growing.
together.
That's getting in the mud
Yes,
together.
yes.
I'm not in the mud
So,
anymore.
Yeah, you're not
I'm
in
a
the mud anymore.
40-year-old
Yeah,
prime
so
woman,
it's
so
totally
yes.
it's a totally different like spectrum.
It
It's like
But for
Yes.
me, I know if I were dating in this time, and I think we talked about this before, I'm sorry, there's a freaking checklist. I'm going to need to know who your mom is, who your dad is. Was there any mental health in your family? Do you have, what's your credit score? Do you have any STDs? Let's go get
Long-term
tested.
goals, short-term goals.
No,
We
there
check-
is-
we
or
check
you
the
should be
boxes off
at
some
your
of
goal.
those.
Yeah, you should
and you
pretty
should be
much
working
be where
in
you-
that
yeah.
goal, not like, oh, you
We
know
did
what?
that,
Everybody
though.
should
So what
still be
happens
setting
when you
goals.
do that, though?
I got set back 10 years because I got to do, or whatever. Like,
But
couldn't do it.
nobody just stops setting goals. You could be 100 years old and you still
still
have
have
goals.
But you
goals.
in
Yeah,
your goal, but
absolutely.
you adding onto
Onto it,
that. You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying?
So
That's something
it's
different.
It's still goal setting though. It's like, what are
Okay,
you doing to elevate?
But if you're 40 something years old, are you gonna date somebody who has a
Working
a
at
credit score
McDonald's
4 and don't have no car?
Okay,
or
well,
you know what I'm
listen.
saying? Like,
Okay.
what are you going to really
I mean,
do
hopefully,
when you're in your 40s?
if Lord, I'm
I'm saying, I know.
hypothetically, I'm just saying, if I were single, I'm like, I got my own. Like, I know what I
But
bring.
would you let someone come into your situation and bring
Right.
you down? Because positive,
No,
negative
because
is
I
going to be
surround
negative.
myself with people that are like me. So therefore, if I'm in a circle, I know if I'm hanging with my
But
girls,
that-
they're not gonna
see,
have me around somebody
That's the
with a
thing.
credit
So
score
basically,
of 5.
you have a standard then. So you have standards and you have people that you are gonna go for because that's not what you looking
But can
for.
you find these people on social apps, social dating apps?
Well, that's the thing. Why I
You
think
can.
you date until then,
ChristianMingle.com.
But what happens? What happens?
Christian Mingle is where it's at. I know a
Yeah.
bunch of people that
Yeah,
got on
ma'am.
Christian Mingle.
No.
Well,
But I can
I
tell you
was
this.
only on 2 dating sites.
I'm
I'm
saying
not
if
getting
you
on
are
there.
female or man and you don't have your stuff together, don't be out here trying to date. Just get
I
yourself
agree with that,
together.
but what happens when you have that conversation? It's not like I went into it at that exact moment, like I'm gonna date him. But once we realized that we were gonna start dating, then it's like,
No,
oh,
you
things
learned your
are
lesson.
serious.
I told you to be honest with him.
I always-
and
but I
to,
always am, though.
You know, be open and open yourself to him.
I was too
I was
open, 'cause what
supportive of
happened?
that.
You
I
were.
know that. I know. But now
Like you
I'm
guys,
like,
I
you know,
was-
but what did I say after the fact? I said, just get your work on you.
That's what
And-
everybody should be doing, whether you're in a relationship or not.
Well, I think as the woman, we tend to work on ourselves and the person that we're investing in.
Yeah.
And now here's the thing: women, we do certain things to become the wife now. Then men do things to be the husband after they're already married, and that's what I feel like. You do that to become the wife. Men normally do start taking care of those things after they become the husband.
And that's, you just hit that boom.
Yeah.
And that's what some people need to stop. And if some of my friends is watching this, you know, you can't be a wife in the beginning. Like, therefore, what are they going to wife you for?
Right.
So don't give your man or the person you're dating
Everything.
wifely duties.
Talk on the phone for like 5, 6, 7, 8
That's
years.
Save some
but that's
things
what,
for later.
but that's what I mean by
Months.
when I say that I link with this person and we never stop from that day for everyday constant conversation.
But you
Good
was
morning,
dealing
good
with
afternoon.
like not really good sex at the beginning. That's when it's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Like,
But pillow
that.
talk in 2022 is not the same as pillow talk in 1984.
It's not.
Okay,
'Cause you
right.
have a cell phone to roll
Yeah,
over
like
to.
you can't, because you got to be careful. Pillow talk is getting people in trouble. I'm telling you, you can't.
But
be
you know
telling
what?
people
When
your dark, deep
our pillow
secrets.
talk came from our vision and what we saw with being with
But
each
was
other.
it real?
You would have to ask him. I know I wasn't. That's why, like I said, I was hurt about it because I was
Okay.
transparent. I shot straight out the door with, this is what's going on in my life. Can you deal with that? And let me tell you another thing. Because of that man was a 6-figure man, you know what I mean? And he moved and did things differently. I said, oh, you know what? He's worth it. Let me speak to him a different way than I would somebody else. And it didn't matter. He was
Did he
still-
motivate you and inspire you to want to elevate?
He did to a certain point, and he did up until it
you
wasn't.
say he a 6-figure, but
Yeah.
how do you match? Did you match his 6-figure?
So here's the thing. Let's be completely honest. I've definitely made 6 figures this year with all the stuff going on. I have not, and that's something I wanted to let him know. And baby, I'm about to be blunt right now. Even during this time, I had to file bankruptcy, you guys. And when I filed bankruptcy, that set me back. Okay. So when I say that I went all in and I exposed these things and I just, was completely transparent, I said, listen, I filed bankruptcy. I can't do certain things till a certain time. He said, okay, so let me ask you something. When can you buy a house? You can't buy a house for 2 years. When can you do this? He said, no problem. Like, we can move into this. We can move into that. And that's when I would call and say, hey, I told him. He said that this is okay. That's okay. She said, okay. Just you told him, but let's just see how he's gonna move. She was like, saying one thing and doing one thing is totally different. So Dawn, just be careful with that. But I did tell him, and it's not something I'm proud of, but it is what it is. Like, I had to do that to make sure that I was financially stable now, because I was going into a bind with that.
But
And I
also,
wonder if-
you were just being genuine.
And that's what I'm
She
saying.
was. But I
So-
wonder if that's really, it was the reason that scared him away.
But then he should have said something during all those times that we had those talks, and so we thought that we had these talks. He should have said it.
Tell you, jaded.
We're saying that now because
That's
we know
true.
all the things after the fact. Like that, literally, he told you some of those things the day I
But
packed
you
my
know what? I feel
bags.
like real men don't really get pushed by that type of. Those
Well,
type
here's the
of
thing.
things.
He also says that,
You know what I'm saying?
that
If
they
you
don't
a
care about
real
your
man,
income. Exactly.
You make money. What you're gonna do anyway is you're gonna be the head of your household.
He said he was
whenever
a leader,
you get to that
a
point.
provider, a protector, and there's times I felt like he did not protect me. I literally, went to him with an issue, and that's when I was able to find out he just totally dropped the ball on me. He totally did, and that just, that shook me to my core. But at the same time, I'm always used to taking care of it, so it wasn't nothing like,
Well, any advice I give to anybody is always make sure that you can always handle your own. I know we always want our man to be the provider in this, but you always got to make sure you got a little something just for yourself, and to make sure you can kind of manage it. It was because if he's all successful and has it all, right, then that's other issues. I feel could be my own insecurities. I don't know. I just feel like more money, more power. Where if I'm meeting you, at least if I'm trailing behind you, I can still survive.
Well, that's what I'm still doing, is trailing behind. Just certain things I couldn't move and make until then. And if you assure somebody that that's okay and this is where we're going to be, then that's how we're going to move. I don't know any other way to do it. Now it makes me wonder, should I tell the next person? Should I say that? Should I just, that's another reason why I don't think I should be dating anymore either right now. Let me go ahead and get my money back up when it comes to that.
Right.
Well, I mean, as long as you do you and be yourself, continue to be genuine, continue to be authentic.
Yes.
And continue to just be transparent. I mean, somebody's got to love you for you and accept all of you, flaws and all. So,
yeah. But just a touch, based on the last point you made, I feel like, I do agree with, we should match our men a little bit, or at least have some type of stability of our own. But I do think in relationships, one is going to fall down short. So
the other one has
to pick up. So it doesn't matter who it is at that point.
You should do it.
But you should do it. Now, I do think sometimes, but I do think it's particular men that are more egotistical, men that are power strong or whatever, they hold the money over the women. But I do think that a real man who has it like that, it would not be an issue.
And Stephanie made a good point, because she said,
I do think it's important for women to be independent.
And you said,
and to know, hey, even if I'm a stay-at-home mom,
right.
Oh, something happened. Oh, I can go get a
I got your
tomorrow.
back. Right.
I got you.
And I got your back. And that's kind of how my situation is. I'm like,
Absolutely.
I got the stability, because, entrepreneurship,
Absolutely.
as y'all know, is very difficult. You've got your up months, you've got your down months. But with me, I'm consistent. So that's what I bring to the table. I bring these benefits and the consistency. But you might not bring the salary, but I bring the consistency.
But there was other ways that I matched him too that was perfectly fine for him at that moment. So that's, I think, where I was like, okay, that's fine. I think I might even worked a little harder in that aspect because of it, but I wasn't going to be there forever. And that's the thing.
Well, what did you, I was going to say something that you said, but I'm not even sure how long we've been going, but what did you learn and take away from that? And where are you going next? What's next for Dawn?
I'm just going to go ahead and focus on myself. I had already started my business. Remember that I was real proud that I got my LLC in that. And I kind of stopped that to kind of just be his number one fan and cheerleader in his podcast. And so I need to, since that's done, I'm just going to go back and focus on getting that squared away. Basically what I took away from it is I still want to move out here in love, like I've never been hurt before. I don't want to take that into another relationship with somebody else. But Dawn would always make sure that Dawn is okay first.
Yeah.
But you know what I can tap on that is, I feel like you said you wanted to be his biggest fan, his biggest cheerleader. Now, I do think, me personally, I just think
you gotta get that ring first.
Yeah,
but even
still, your dreams are your dreams.
Yeah.
His dreams are his dreams. Absolutely. So you can't stop your show because he got dreams. You got to keep pushing on. Yep, you got to keep pushing.
And I think I still was. He asked me what those aspirations were and all those things, and then I told him, how I want to do this. We did short term, long term. We just didn't make it there.
Right.
But we talked about it. I want you guys to know.
Tell us about your business that you started.
We talked about
what's his business?
Well, tell us about the business.
Well, it's, oh gosh. I don't know. Wow.
Because I see the tooth over there, Jimmy.
Oh,
right.
the bling.
I might have to give me a
little bling. I need to find a space. That's what I'm scared of. Is trying
what is
to
the
find
business?
A space. Well, I can whiten teeth.
Okay.
Gosh, I can. Oh my gosh. I can do so many things. It's not even just that. So I called it like a beauty bar, basically, because you can do multiple things. So I can do with therapy. Remember something about that? We can do the vacuum suctions. We can do the little, it's a lot. We can do the gems and the teeth. Yeah, you can. So, yeah.
Okay.
You can.
So
I don't.
when are we gonna see this? We're gonna put it in the atmosphere so that it can
Go out.
happen. You got to put it out there.
We're gonna be your cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Because the
And
next
we're gonna hold you
time come
accountable.
Yep.
I know, and that's why I was moving quietly. Do you remember how happy I was when I finally got certain things done? But just in case, because that did not take off as fast as I would like it, that's when I went back to the University of Maryland School of Medicine, and I got that little degree in psychology. So
Little. Ain't nothing
little
little
degree
about that. I
Right.
got a degree in
okay, well, I got
psychology.
that degree in
And it ain't
psychology that goes towards social work. But I'm going to move in that direction. It's just I'm a single mom with 2 children. I had to make sure that they're good first and then keep doing. So I think while I'm going to work for somebody else, and I've got to dedicate that time to work a little bit on my own business, and I kind of dropped the ball on that. And then I kind of got a little content with being happy in a relationship, making sure he's good, and then making sure I'm good. And I didn't pour into myself as much as I poured into him, and that's probably was my biggest mistake. And I would take the
And
accountability
that's
for
fine.
that. Right.
Women do that all the
We do.
time.
So 2023, we gonna see these gems and these teeth being real
My
white.
biggest hang up is really trying to find the space and knowing your market or where to do it. There's so many women that do it in Baltimore that I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be another person in Baltimore. But that's where it's booming. DC, that's where it's booming. New York, Jersey, Philly, that's where it's booming. We live in Upper Montgomery County, and, the skin tone isn't always there when they want to do that. I kind of need to go to the other
Right.
areas.
Yeah.
where the
Well, I
brown
can tell
skin
you with
women are
being
at.
self-employed, I mean, of course, I had support, but I hadn't always because I was young in real estate too. But you definitely just have to leap out there sometimes. Do a business plan and just write it all out, and then say what the goals are. But don't just say I'm gonna do it, or waiting or making excuses. Just do it.
That's me.
And then the consistency is just like literally the key. If you are doing it every single day, it's gonna come. Everything's
do one
gonna
person.
come. It may not
Then
come
it's
as
gonna be
fast as
two.
you think it's gonna come, but it'll come. You'll pick up and you'll be like, oh shit.
Dropping them gems.
And
I'm
guess
going
what? What's she
somewhere.
gonna do? Make to say your prayer? Because people like to say they make the. What does Sierra say?
Sierra prayer.
Sierra prayer.
I know you want your own man, not him.
I do.
Right? You told me that.
I did. I don't want to
So-
wrestle us. I want my own.
That's right.
I want my
So
own.
he'll find you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is, I believe in that though. You manifest and you speak what you want, and you pray for the person that you want. I mean, y'all know I had a hard time finding a man because people ain't.
No,
know
you
me.
had them.
I had
They-
later in life, but I'm saying
was
like
just-
they was just trash. But I was like, I need me a good man. But I think I prayed for the type of husband that I have, like somebody who has good communication skills, accepts me for who I am, and I can be myself. And that was really the 3 things that I prayed for, and I am myself.
But the marriage isn't the goal for everybody.
Right.
You know
It's
what I
not for
mean? Like it's
everybody.
really not.
Yeah.
Is it still the goal for you? Today we don't know. To be continued.
To be continued.
Okay. That's fair.
It's definitely focus and go time right now. It definitely is. I haven't given up on it.
That's
I'll say
fair.
that.
Well, thank you so much for coming back. And we're going to wrap things up. And you know what we do? We bring our glasses to the center.
So until next time, continue to be you, love you, and of course, boss up.
Hey.